You know, when I gave up being Spider-Man, the thing that hurt most, besides the chest pains, was that most people were glad, not like the criminals, they could care less, but the ordinary people were glad. That day, I made the front page of the New York Times. The headline was Good Riddance. You know, when I started going around the schools to give talks about cancer, most people assumed because I was bitten by a radioactive spider, which gave me my superpowers, especially the no news people. They really wanted me to have cancer from being bitten by a radioactive spider. Actually, it was the cigarettes. You know, you'd be hiding out in the alley, scrunched up behind a dumpster, trying to be inconspicuous in your bright red overalls, waiting for Electro to show up and rob the bank across the street. You get really tense, you know? So it's good to have a smoke, relax. The Electro shows up, you snuff your cig, toss your butt in the dumpster, and you go kick his ass. Next thing you know, you're in the alley waiting for Juggernaut and the Rhino to rob a bank across the street, and Captain America hasn't showed up to help you out yet. You're gonna have to take on these two huge fuckers at once, so you have another smoke. And the next thing you know, you're chain smoking 2 or 3 packs of Lucky Strikes just on one job. I'll never forget this time I caught the human flamethrower in the jewelry store and I came crashing through the front window. I said, "Human flamethrower, you're coming with me." And he ripped around and said, "Oh no, Spider-Man." I love it when they say, "Oh no, Spider-Man." He was just about to blast me when I just started coughing like you wouldn't believe. I was doubled over on one of those huge display cases, coughing and hacking this brown spittle crap. And the human flamethrower had to run over and help me out to his car so his henchman could run me to the hospital while he finished up at the jewelry store. God, that was embarrassing. Do you remember the Flash? Now, this would be embarrassing. Now, this guy is fast. I don't know what kind of steroids he on, but this guy is so fast, it makes sense they call him the Flash. But that's not really how he got his name. See, he used to be called the Scarlet Dasher. But one time there was this new supervillain, Mothman, who was pretty puss, and we all joked about, yeah, right, what does he do? Eat cloth? So one day he robs a bank on the Dasher's turf, takes off running, not even a getaway car, and Dash catches up to this guy, no problem, taps him on the shoulder, says, "Hey, buddy, you're gonna have to do a lot better than this. And if you think the Flash is fast, you should have seen Mothman's lips." Next thing you know, the Scarlet Dash is standing there stark naked watching Mothman running away with a mouthful of red fabric. So we joked about it a lot and called him the Blue Streak and the Scarlet Flash, and it sort of stuck. So one time, me and the Flash and Iron Man and this guy, we called Psycho Kid because this guy was fucking wacko. The Psycho Kid was always decked out like Rambo, right? Here's this guy, maybe 5'6" and 100 pounds soaking wet, and he's got a pair of Uzi and hip holsters and ammo bells everywhere. He never used them, but he thought they looked cool. So the four of us were taking a smoke break in the alley, waiting for the Inhuman Destructors to come trash this hospital across the street. And the Flash broke out some pot, and we're passing around talking about who scares you the most. And I had to say the Multiple Man because this guy had 8 bodies, and he's all over you when you fight him. And also because one time he nearly bit off one of my testicles, and we said, "Iron Man, who scares you most?" And he said, "Death." We said, "Oh." And then across the street, we see this asshole parked in a handicap spot, and we thought, let's give this guy a scare. So we go marching over there, the four of us, and Iron Man in his Sherman tank costume. I mean, talk about overkill. And the Psycho Kid is taking out his Uzi and giggling and saying, "This is just like the U.S. Marines." And we get over to this guy, and we're all standing around, and the Flash is scraping his paint job with a caulk. I said, "Excuse me, sir, this is a handicap spot." And the kid giggled and stuck a gun in his face. This little guy looks at me and says with this really thick Hispanic accent, "You guys think you're so fucking tough. Well, this is my car, and you don't fuck with me in my car." I thought, I took on Dr. Octopus, the Vulture, single-handed, and this asshole is too stupid to be afraid of us. You guys think you're so fucking tough. Well, this is my car, and you don't fuck with me in my car. And then he hit me with a crowbar. And the next thing I know, there's an explosion, a gunfire. I guess the kid freaked out and blew this guy away at 200 rounds per minute. And so there was this little Hispanic guy's body splattered against the wall at the other side of the parking lot. And the Flash was dead. I was all okay because I was already lying on the ground bleeding. And Captain America pulled some strings to have the story kind of hush up to spare us the embarrassment. But I guess that's the real reason I retired. I just got tired of playing policeman to the world.